As free agency and trade talks continue to intensify, it's now being revealed by a popular Cleveland insider that even the Cavaliers star Donovan Mitchell may not be safe in this free agency. After what we thought was going to be a core four remaining 100%, we get reports that Darius Garland and Jarrett Allen should not feel comfortable as for sure Cavaliers. And now Sam Amico is saying that Donovan Mitchell is another guy that you should not feel safe about remaining a Cavalier going into next season. I'm Matt Palange with Cavs Digest. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I'm so excited to continue to bring out Cavs news, and it's so hard to keep up with all of the nonsense and all of these crazy rumors and trade proposals that continue to happen in this offseason. So we're going to hit the subscribe button, as just under 68% of you that watch are not subscribed. You got to hit that button because there's so many things that happen: proposals, rumors, trades, signings, so many things that happen during the offseason, and it's so hard to keep up with if you're not consistently refreshing through social media every day. That's what I have to do to find a lot of content, and that's what I'm always going to try to do here. Me and Billy. Billy's been pushing out phenomenal videos. I'm doing my best here as well, so go ahead and subscribe button because you get two people who love the Cavs and want to push out all the info for you guys. So let's talk about Donovan Mitchell here and kind of what is being revealed about him by Sam Amico, who we have talked about multiple times from hoopswire.com, and other ESPN trade proposals, and even some of the biggest companies and what they are doing and talking about Donovan Mitchell and what the Cavs could and should consider doing with him. So obviously Donovan Mitchell, the star for the Cavaliers, the leader of the team, we say, the current star at least, one of the most finessing scorers in the league, one of the best slashers, in my personal opinion. Every time he slashed in the playoffs, it looked like a bucket. This is the guy for the Cavaliers and has been that way since they traded for him in 2022, in the 2022 offseason. Of course, this is the guy that the Cavs have put a lot of their focus on building around, and he is what took them to their play-in, and then to 2 playoff appearances, and then, of course, the 1 seed in the NBA Eastern Conference last year, which of course resulted in something that we try to avoid talking about because it still haunts me to this day. But let's talk about this Donovan Mitchell trade proposal. So the first one that we talked about was actually this, and I talked about this in a more recent video. You'll see it with the Cooper Flag one, but so I'm going to quickly address it now again. It talks about this 4-team trade that could get Jarrett Allen and even Donovan Mitchell out of here for the number 1 overall pick. And the reason I talk about this trade is it shows you that people are starting to think that Donovan Mitchell is someone that could be a piece that could be utilized in free agency to acquire either a new core or just a different team. And another thing that I heard actually on the fan while driving yesterday is that people are saying that, people are talking about blowing it up, like blowing up the core four. And they mentioned about how just getting rid of one piece specifically, like Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, Jarrett Allen, is not blowing up the core. We need to stop using the term blowing up for trading guys like this. So let's kind of continue talking about these trades, but I want to just throw that out here. And what Amico said, he said, now, despite clearing 60 wins in the regular season, we're likely in for another summer of questions about the fit between Garland and Mitchell in the backcourt and Mobley and Allen down low. A trade of anyone with the possible exception of Mobley. So he didn't mention Donovan Mitchell, at least feels possible. So he's saying it feels possible that Mitchell, Allen, Garland, multiple of them could be gone even after the wins. Now, I know I saw a comment on my last post saying that I need to stop mentioning the wins. The reason I say that, guys, is because, yes, I am not comfortable with just winning a lot of games and losing the playoffs. I actually hate it. I care mostly about the playoffs. But you think from a GM's perspective and the organization's perspective is they are going to love seeing that 64 wins and the first 1 seed since LeBron. Like, that is something that they love to see. That's why I mention those wins so often, is because, yes, we might not care about the wins in the regular season. I don't personally, but organizations are, and that the management is going to care, and that's why I mentioned that. So we see this is the first trade. And then I ended up scrolling a little more, and this one wasn't as recent, but this was around the time that the Cavs season ended, and it was another trade that would actually be a trade proposal to the Oklahoma City Thunder, which now that they're in the NBA Finals, this makes even less sense. But Sahant Gupta of Fadeaway World, hopefully I said that right, I'm so sorry if I didn't. It would send Jalen Williams, Isaiah Joe, Kenrich Williams, the 15th overall pick in the NBA draft, and 2 future first-round draft choices in exchange for Donovan Mitchell. This trade is just absolutely abysmal. This is ridiculous. This is delusional. I'm sorry to Gupta, but this is absolutely not going to happen. The Thunder are never in a million years going to trade anybody when they are literally 4 games away from winning the NBA championship, and they just won 67 games. And even if they come up short, they went from losing the second round to the NBA Finals. Like, they're still just so young, and the Thunder are never doing this trade. Now, if they were to, let's say the Cavs do this, this actually isn't a trade. This is a trade I would not mind at all. We get a lot in exchange for Donovan Mitchell. We have Jalen Williams, who is an all NBA defensive level player. You're going to see in this play. Just a big steal. Give me those. And then, Chet Holmgren gets sent by Naz Reid to go. But Jalen Williams is, of course, there to follow up for the and one because that's how good. He's a very gritty player, phenomenal defender, and a fantastic scorer who would fit well if you assume Darius Garland can develop to a better overall point guard. And then you also get just absolute bench beasts like Isaiah Joe, who's been a stud for the Thunder, and you get a 15th overall pick. And you get to keep your 2 second-rounders, which I've talked about. They could draft some guys, and you get 2 future first draft choices. So the Cavs, if they were to do the trade, I would actually not mind it. Of course, I don't know how I would feel about Mobley, Garland, Allen, and Jalen Williams as your big 4, but I mean, Isaiah Joe's a beast. Kevin Williams is a great bench piece, and of course, you get a high pick. This is not a trade. This is a trade I wouldn't mind as much. But of course, these are the 2 big ones that we talked about. These trades specifically are the big ones that we talked about, that we were talking about today. These are the trade proposals. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Can't talk. These are the big proposals for Donovan Mitchell that we're seeing as now. And of course, I'm going to show you this again for Amigos. What he said is that it really is starting to look like Mr. Donovan Mitchell is not safe as a Cavalier anymore. But, I mean, he has... Like, when you look at his regular season scoring specifically, 24, 5, and 5. We're going to round up his rebounds to 5 and 5, 2 turnovers on 5 assists. And then his shooting was a little inconsistent. But his playoff scoring outburst is one of the best in NBA history. And he is their best player. But Mobley developed scoring. Darius Garland, of course, scores. Jarrett Allen, of course, scores. DeAndre Hunter, of course, scores. Ty Jerome scores above 12 points a game. So, it's, seeing Donovan Mitchell take a step back from overall scoring and efficiency isn't that scary because you have so many guys. But you look at his age, he's 28. That's around prime years, and he's going to be out of it soon. So how many more years? So this is how I'm going to break it down, and this is what I believe Chris Fedor said. He said that Donovan Mitchell is who you want to keep if you don't expect to be around long term. But getting rid of him makes sense if you want to continue to be consistent for years and you want to try to build. Because right now, let's say you get rid of Donovan Mitchell for the number 1 overall pick, you are going to be a playoff team no matter what, and you're going to be a top 5 seed most likely. But if you want to be a win-now championship team right now, Donovan Mitchell should be kept. But, again, it's starting to seem like things are different because look at these trade proposals. Now, another thing I want to address is the fact that fans are starting to question Donovan Mitchell. This was the big one I saw. This was from one of BetJack, I believe it is. BetJack, I believe, and they posted this from Lil Twist Goat, Hip Hop Twist. I wish we never traded for Donovan Mitchell. So he said he was starting to see it on his timeline. Like, it wasn't just him. So there are people that really are trying to look at the Donovan Mitchell trade like it was a bad thing. Me personally, if you look at what the Jazz have done since then, and you look at what the Jazz have gotten since then, the Cavs absolutely won that trade. Let's be honest here. Whether they don't win a championship with or not, the Jazz are really, really far away, and they would have to rebuild for at least another 10 years. This was the Cavs getting their number 1 option immediately. In replace of LeBron James, and people seem to agree with me because these are the responses that I saw. People are stupid. No, I do not believe in who is saying this. Literally, no one who is an actual Cavs fan feels this way. Me and my buddies, I sent them that tweet. They actually also do disagree with it. But the main part of this video, of course, is these trade proposals and the fact that Amico said that it doesn't seem like Donovan Mitchell is safe as well, and that it feels possible that Donovan Mitchell could be traded in this offseason, guys, and that we saw some proposals getting the number 1 overall pick and getting Jalen Williams and Isaiah Joe from the Thunder. The Thunder aren't going to do that. It's unlikely the Mavericks do that, but I think the Mavericks one's actually more likely than the Thunder one. So let me know how you guys feel about these trade proposals, but mainly how you guys feel about Donovan Mitchell. Should he be a trade piece this season? Is he a bad leader? Because we know he's a great player, but is he a bad leader? Or is this all just a bunch of nonsense and we should keep Donovan Mitchell? Let me know how you guys feel in the comments. Thank you guys for joining me on Cavs Digest. I'm so happy to continue making content. I've loved the support as of late and love the advice. Thank you guys for joining me, and of course, have a good one.